Yo, what up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Listen, guys, I apologize because I haven't been dropping as many videos lately. Been super busy in the real estate market. But listen, today I want to talk about a topic that someone actually brought to me. And how is your credit affected when you reuse your available credit, right? Now, she was personally saying that she had this habit of paying her credit card balance, but then as soon as she would pay it, she would use it again, right? And she's like so nervous on how is it gonna affect my credit. So we're gonna talk about a few different ways that your credit is affected when it comes to reusing that available debt. All right, because as we talked about, guys, remember credit cards are revolving credit. So now, remember in the previous video, guys, we talked about the statement date versus the due date. So um, the important thing to remember about the statement date is that that is when your balance is calculated, and your due date is when your balance is actually due, when your bill is due, right? Your agreement to pay. Your statement date is when your bill is calculated. So when we're using that example of saying, okay, my due date is December the 25th, right? But my statement date is January 1st. When your statement comes and you have a $2,000 balance, that is what is going to be showing up on your report, a $2,000 balance. However, if you pay that balance down by say $1,000, by the time you before your due date, your limit is going to be lower on how much you have to actually pay. So this is super important. You can use money and pay it right back, and then it won't show up on your statement. However, you can use money, don't necessarily pay it right back, and then that balance shows up on your statement. So that's why we talk about the due date and the statement date being so important, right? The due date and the statement date being very important, right? Now, like I stated earlier, credit cards are revolving credit. Credit cards are revolving credit, meaning the good thing about it is that you have that money available to you. However, it is very important to be very cautious, right? Because if you just pay down, let's just say you had a balance of 5 grand, and you took a while, you took some months, you paid it down, you finally got the balance down. You want to be very mindful when using those credit cards again, and it can be very tempting to use those credit cards again because their limit is now available to us sitting right in our face, right? So always remember that credit cards are revolving credit, right? Difference between installment loans, all right? Now, like I kind of mentioned earlier a little bit, guys, paying your balance in full versus paying a partial payment makes a difference, okay? When you pay your balance in full, you're leaving a zero balance, meaning that I have no agreement, no obligation to pay next month. Once I use that card again, now my balance is whatever it may be, $500, $50, $100. Now you have a balance, okay? So be very mindful, like I said, guys, even when you get credit line increases. A big part of 2022 is teaching you guys how to get high limit credit cards, and you still want to be responsible and logical when it comes to spending that money, right? So to make a long story long, your credit is affected by reusing your available balance, depending on when you are using it and when you are paying it back. That is really the answer. That's why that statement date versus the due date is so important. When are you using your credit? How much are you paying back? And when are you paying that information back? Is going to answer the question of how your credit is affected when you're reusing that available limit, right? So spend responsibly, guys. Like I said, it's the holiday time. We want to be very, very mindful of how much we're spending, how much money we're using. Study those due date versus your statement date. Like I told you guys in a previous video, if you don't know it, it is on your credit card statement, or you can call your actual lender and get that information, okay? Remember that credit cards are revolving credit, and make key decisions based on how much you owe. Should you maybe pay your balance in full? Should you pay a partial payment? Or how much you should actually pay? Because like I told you guys, paying credit card balances alone and paying your debt down in particular, even if it's not credit, even if it's a loan, is very important, and it helps to increase your credit score. One of the ways that you have control on your own by simply paying down your credit card balances. It is very, very important. It's highly important. It is even more important to be very mindful during this time of holiday shopping, spending money for your kids, guys. So let's get it, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.